So hopefully Marshawn Brooks' feelings are not that hurt. And hopefully this trade that eventually happened works out for everybody involved. Trevor Ariza is going back to the Wizards. Kelly Oubre, as well as Austin Rivers, are heading to the Phoenix Suns, so let's talk about this whole thing. So, the Wizards, as we know, have been a bit of a mess this year. A million rumors have been out there for the past couple years that the team doesn't really love each other, and we all know how this season has gone for them. And it seems that by shipping off Kelly Oubre, they are basically choosing to go for the win right now option rather than hold on to their young wing, who has been a bit inconsistent throughout his time, but has shown flashes, and if he figures it all out, could be the ideal player for today's NBA. But they would rather have the guarantee of Trevor Ariza, who, I mean, to be fair, you could say is a better player than Oubre right now. He's definitely more consistent. You know what you're going to get with him. You're going to get outside shooting, professionalism, and defense. And perhaps this could be a saving grace for the Wizards, who would prefer to have all that rather than Oubre's upside. You know, maybe Ariza could actually fix this whole thing, because the talent of this team is still here. Of course, Ariza was good for them a few years back. He would certainly help the spacing, and John Wall still being one of the best passers in the league. Hey, it could work out. I mean, Ariza, sure, he's 33 years old, and his best days are behind him, but it's safe to say he could step into this Washington situation and just make them a little better. Do I think it's going to be a drastic turnaround? I mean, probably not, but it could make them a little bit more respectable. And they could have a decent amount of shooting out there as well between Ariza and Otto Porter, two guys who can be knocked down three-point shooters. And depending on where Ariza's defense is at, that could be a big deal as well. I think his defense has been kind of rough this season because he's just kind of doing what everybody else is doing in Phoenix. But perhaps he could wake up John Wall, Bradley Beal, and the team defensively. Now, if we talk about Austin Rivers and his departure now from this team, I think that could be good because it could allow Thomas Satoransky to play more, because Satoransky's a better player. I mean, I did hold out some hope when the Wizards acquired Rivers that he could help them. Not really the case. Scott Brooks doesn't play Satoransky enough. He has lately, so perhaps this could help that out. Also, if Troy Brown could get some minutes, that would be awesome, but we'll see what happens there. Now, if we move on to the Phoenix Suns, this team definitely needs a pick-me-up. That's a bad joke, I'm sorry. But perhaps Austin Rivers could actually help them out a little bit. They're desperate for a point guard. He's not really a point guard, but he's at least had some higher usage rates the last couple of years. Maybe it means something. Eli Okubo has got potential, but I don't think he's ready at this moment. And I don't think Devin Booker is being used at his best at point guard. I mean, he can make plays. His assists are up to like 7 a game or whatever right now, but his efficiency has fallen back down to where it was when this team had like no talent around him. And I just think Booker is meant to be a shoot first, not worrying about playmaking too much kind of a guy. As for whether Austin Rivers is the right guy to make all that happen, I mean, he's made some plays in the past. 2 years ago, he was pretty legit for the Clippers, but if we're expecting Austin Rivers to transform this team's offense, then I think we're expecting a little too much. Now, how does Kelly Oubre make sense in all of this? Well, I mean, Oubre is an inconsistent player, okay? At his best, he's an athletic 3-and-D guy. At his worst, he isn't totally good at anything. It's just more of a, he looks good rather than he actually is good. And there's quite a bit of wing competition on this Suns team. I mean, TJ Warren is going to be playing over Oubre, as he should, because Phoenix desperately needs his offense. Mikal Bridges has been a promising small forward for them. Seems like he can be a 3-and-D kind of guy, and potentially could do even a little bit more as an offensive player. But even if he just stays in this lane of being the next, well, Trevor Ariza pretty much, then the Suns should definitely be playing him. Now, there's also Josh Jackson, who is kind of the most confusing player in the NBA, if you ask me, because he's found himself back into the Suns' rotation, and his box score numbers are not horrible, but his efficiency has been pretty bad. He's having games where he's shooting like under 30% from the field, and I mean, I don't know. Oubre is going to have the opportunity to play over Jackson. As far as how good he'll actually be for them, I don't know. I would have loved to have seen him on the Grizzlies. Now that he's on the Suns team, I'm interested to see how he plays with DeAndre Ayton. Because of course, Ayton is going to be around the basket and the spacing is not always going to be beautiful, so is Oubre going to be forced to take more jump shots? I think to allow him to be at his best, he needs to be able to drive to the rim and cut every now and then. So we'll see what Phoenix does with that. Another thing I want to mention, and I talked about these two a second ago, I really want to see Oubre playing with TJ Warren and Mikal Bridges, whether it's both of them, one of them, whatever it may be. Because of course, nowadays it's all about wings, so if you can put as many good wings together, I recommend you do it. Anyway, that's my take on this move. The Wizards wanted a win right now thing. Phoenix has an opportunity to take on a player who could end up being something, so we'll see how this all plays out.